Yes, it is time now for the Zack Martin Show. He will join us every Thursday here on your home of the Cowboys throughout the NFL season. The six-time first-team All-Pro, member of the 2010s NFL All-Decade team, and a future Hall of Famer, Zack Martin, joining you now here on The Fan. And a good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're happy to get you. You know, when they asked us at training camp, we didn't know if you were going to be an option. So we're happy about that, and thanks for agreeing to do this with us all season.
Well, I know. They brought it up to me in the summer before all that happened, and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go on the show anymore.
Well, everybody is so thrilled, obviously. Was there ever a moment in your mind where you seriously thought that you wouldn't be here for week one?
I mean, I'd be lying if there wasn't a couple days where I was kind of feeling sorry for myself and not sure if it'd get done. But for the most part, in the back of my mind, I had a good feeling that I was going to be suited up for week one.
Well, a lot of new things this year as well. How different is your job with the evolving offense? How much of this impacts you?
It's a little different. I mean, people keep asking me that, and a lot of it is the same. Sure, we've added some good wrinkles and some things for up front, just communication wise. But as far as watching the game, it's going to be pretty similar in my opinion.
We got to talk with Tyron during training camp, and we asked him about playing next to you and how fun that was for Cowboy fans who have watched y'all's entire career. But listening to you talk about Terence Steele when he went down, I know you were on that show with Brad Sham. I mean, you really lit up, it seemed like, when you were discussing Terence Steele. How happy are you for him and his new deal that he just signed and his growth this offseason?
Yeah, man, I am pumped for Terence. I've been a huge Terence fan since the moment he walked into this building, and for whatever reason, he was undrafted, which is mind-blowing to me, but we got him undrafted, COVID year. Guy had literally 2 weeks of training camp, and he was going with the starters right when he walked in the door, and he hasn't skipped a beat. He had his ups and downs that first year, but learned a lot. I say a lot of times I think it's almost better for some guys to get thrown into the fire a little bit just because they can learn and develop at a faster pace. So he's done that from the moment he got here. Had a bad injury last year, and I know everyone's been saying it and seeing it. It's pretty incredible the recovery that he's made. So he's I've had a blast playing next to him for the last 3 years and wanting to keep it going.
Hey, Zach, what makes it so good working with him, though? You guys have a great ability, you get hip to hip, that you secure down guys. You're second level, he's second level. You guys, it's like watching the Rockettes dance.
That's what and I harp on young guys all the time. Terence is consistent. I know exactly where he's going to be on a snap, and I think sometimes young guys come into the league and they want to make the highlight block. They want to stand out, which is great. But in my opinion, the thing that stands out the most is if you can do the same thing over and over and over again, and that's what Terence brings. And I think that's why we've had some success together, is because we both know where we're going to be and what we're doing.
That's a guy that Carpe Omnia's his balls off, right? Yeah. How'd you like that meeting, by the way?
It was good. We've got a theme every year, and a little bit of a different twist this year, but the meaning of it, behind it, I think is good and great for this football team.
We always talk about the 17 inches year.
Oh yeah,
is that your favorite year?
What year was that?
That was a Garrett year. Was it?
Yeah, what was that? It was the plate. Was that?
Yeah, it was a home plate story, and we all got T-shirts. And I remember wearing mine in the grocery store, and people were looking at me. Yeah. I think I wore the T-shirt one time, Zach. To be honest,
I wore it proudly out there. Yeah.
As you should, sir. As you should. Well, we actually just played audio of Jason Kelsey, and of course he's got his podcast with his brother. And he talked about the story of proposing to his wife, and he said he needed to get this in before training camp, and he just ran inside, forgot to ask the parents, said, hey, I got to go take a two-ski. Went inside, asked the parents, came back. She said, there's no way you went too. It takes at least 20 minutes to get in there. And then he said, not the most romantic way to ask, but will you marry me? Do you have a fun engagement story?
I did it me and my wife met at a lake house, so I did it up at out on the boat up at the lake that we met at. So not really any crazy story. I surprised her. I went up there, drove up there, surprised her, went on the boat, blacked out for a second. Don't really know what I said. And then all of a sudden we were engaged.
That's fantastic. Okay, well then on the Jason Kelsey subject here, how long into a relationship does Zack Martin feel comfortable, letting the person know, like, yeah, I'm going number 2 here?
Pretty early on, I would say. So I married one of my best friend's sisters. So, did that whole thing. Me and my brother-in-law were teammates in college. So I had known my wife for several years before we even started dating. So I was pretty comfortable pretty quickly.
Kudos.
Double D1 family. You got planned for the kids, I bet.
Yeah. No pressure, right?
Yeah. It's Zack Martin here with you on 105.3 The Fan. What else can you tell us about growing up in Indianapolis, right? Obviously, you had a good amount of respect for Notre Dame. Were the Pacers in there? Were you a Colts fan? How'd that whole thing
Yeah, a little
together?
bit. I'm not originally, so I was born in Kansas City, lived there until I was 8.
Okay.
My dad worked for the NCAA, so we moved. When the NCAA moved from Kansas City to Indy, we moved. So I didn't grow up like a huge Notre Dame fan. I actually didn't really like Notre Dame all that much growing up because all my friends were obsessed with them. But grew up there in Indy. I'm the middle of 3 boys, so we're all 2 years apart. So I got to play high school football with both of my brothers, and then did the whole recruiting trail around the Big Ten, did all that, and then went up to South Bend and kind of fell in love with the place and was able to go there, and then have my little brother come up there a couple of years later and spend that time with him. So me and my brothers are extremely close, but a pretty normal upbringing.
It's a little different to go from a Notre Dame hater once you get on campus and get an appreciation for that brand. It could change your tune pretty quick, huh?
It is, man. There's a lot going on up there. I mean, it's. I told people when I got down here, I think when anytime anyone new comes down here, they're all don't be overwhelmed with the media, with this and that, and that was something I was used to. Notre Dame is pretty much the college football version of the Cowboys as far as coverage and having everyone's eye on us. So that wasn't a huge surprise to me when I got here.
Now, I know your offseason, obviously, with the holdout and stuff was a little bit unique, but did you get a chance to go with the squad with Dak and do the Navy SEAL training stuff?
No, that was Dak and the skill position groups when they went through. They did that, but they filled us in, and man, it seemed like a great experience, and we talked about maybe doing that again next year and getting some more guys involved.
Now, you've been on some fishing trips with Dak, though,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so that's just kind of load up and get on a boat and everybody. I mean, is it competitive on that, or are you guys all kind of working as a team on that?
Yeah. So Travis Frederick had
miss him.
Yeah. So he had I think it's his wife's family. They've always had a timeshare down in the Keys, and so I think we did it for like 3 years straight, where we would get a weekend. And go down to that same place that Trav vacationed at, and set up a couple boats and split up and have a little competition. But we had some good trips down there, going down to let's see, what key were we in? I forget, but we'd
Isla
go
Mirada or somewhere like that.
No, it was Marathon Key,
go,
and then
yeah.
we'd do a day or two of fishing, and then we'd shoot down to Key West and have a night out in Key West.
You still relating to your younger teammates pretty good?
Yeah, I am, man. We got it is a little different, but everyone in the locker room is pretty similar personalities, and it's not that hard to talk to everyone.
So Lucius, our producer on the show, he does LA Live every day. He asks us the question, what's a job that you think is fun but isn't? If we were to ask you that, what would you say?
A job that I think is fun but isn't. Job that isn't fun.
Man, blocking on field goal looks
Field
like
goal.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking football? Yeah, field goal's
Well,
the worst.
anything.
Yeah. No, you get, especially, after a big drive, you're like, oh, we just scored a touchdown. Then you line up and you have like 2 350-pounders trying to run you over and stomp on your face.
What do you think about this Giants defensive line? I mean, you guys go up against a lot inside the division, but they got some beefy men in there.
Yeah, I think very highly of really everyone D-line in our division. But, the Giants, they've got a great front four, obviously highlighted with Lawrence and Williams and Thibodeau there. But they've obviously invested a lot into that front seven. And when you turn the tape on it, it definitely shows.
And Dexter Lawrence is a bit of a trash talker. He likes to chirp a little bit from what I've seen.
Yeah, he just likes to if he throws you around, he just laughs in your face, and you're just kind of like, oh, what do I say to that? So get you next time. But no, he's a very large man who can move extremely well. So that's gonna be a big test for us inside with those guys.
Okay, well, we got a big test for you each and every week that you're on with us here. Unless you just crush it, maybe this is a one and done situation, but we'll bring out that competitor in you. I got 7 seconds worth of sports analysis that I want to play for you. It's a bit suggestive here. I'm only going to play it for you once. You get one guess every week. We'll see how many weeks it takes Zack Martin to get this answer correctly. The question is, after you hear this sound, what sport is being analyzed here? Is this cool with you?
Yeah.
Okay, here is the sound.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth and tonnage, right?
I know that voice. Is it something college football related, isn't it?
Is that your final guess?
Yeah, college football.
College football. You would be incorrect, Zack Martin, but it was one hell of an effort, sir. And we look forward to next week.
God, I know that voice.
Yeah. Oh, it's like Lucifer.
Yeah.
Incarnation.
Rather shrill.
We'll do it again next week. Though.
All right.
Look forward to this.
Same clip or
Same
different
clip.
Okay,
Same clip. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Great start, Zach. We can't thank you enough for agreeing to do this all season long. We wish you nothing but the best up there in New York. We like to say give him hell. We'll be pulling for you.
Well, I appreciate it. Looking forward to doing this season. See you next week.
Cheers, buddy.